Good day. I'm Angel Naranjo. Our topic is fiscal policy. Okay, so let me know what is fiscal policy. Fiscal policy takes off to influence income and consumptions and leads the economy toward growth and development. Fiscal policy as a tool utilizes government spending and taxation as means to control the economy. However, fiscal policy also has non-economic objectives, which may conflict with economic aims, political aims, and a desire to conform to conditions of foreign creditors may get in the way of economic objectives. Thus, fiscal policy cannot easily be manipulated, which goes to show that it should go hand in hand with monetary policy. The government is a very important sector of the economy. In areas where the private sector cannot cope effectively, the government role becomes even more significant when private spending is insufficient and national expenditure has to be raised. It is the government that makes up for the private sector's deficiency. The Philippine government is a big spender in the economy. It buys tables, desks, and chairs for use in public schools and government offices. It buys cement in large bulk to build roads and bridges. It buys hundreds of books to put into shelves of public libraries. It purchases art items and antiques for display in museums and art galleries. Okay, so, ang fiscal policy ay paggamit ng koleksyon ng kita at paggasta ng pamahalaan upang maimpluwensyahan ang ekonomiya ng isang bansa. Ang goal ng fiscal policy to maintain full employment upang makamit o mapanatili ang isang mataas na rate ng paglago ng ekonomiya and to stabilize prices and wages. Bakit mahalaga ang government sa sektor ng ekonomiya? Dahil sila ay nagpo-provide social framework, nagpo-provide ng public goods and services, at patatagin ang ekonomiya. Halimbawa ng fiscal policy, kapag mababang demand sa ekonomiya, maaaring makialam ang gobyerno ay dagdagan ang paggasta nito upang kasiglahin ang demand. Next naman ay sources and uses of public funds. The biggest source of government funds is taxation. Taxes in the Philippines are collected by two tax-collecting agencies, the Bureau of Internal Revenue and the Bureau of Customs. Taxes collected by these agencies include income taxes of individuals and businesses, property taxes, residence taxes, import taxes, inheritance taxes, gift taxes, and other specific taxes. The government also earns income from non-tax revenues such as the collections of fines and fees, licenses and registration charges, and profits earned by government-operated and controlled corporations. Item presentation of government revenues is shown in the following tables. When government revenues are insufficient to finance the growing budget, the government has to borrow. A government tends to borrow for three reasons. First, due to a political reluctance to raise taxes. Second, a sense that some government-sponsored capital improvements should be paid for gradually over the life of the investment. Government borrowing may be undertaken from internal sources such as the central bank or from external sources such as foreign governments. Today, people are naturally worried about the growing size of the national debt. Filipinos are worried about government borrowings because of the interest paid. They are also worried about the burden of months that the government has to shoulder. The loan payment that will fall on the next generation, who will have to pay the taxes to pay off the public debt. It has been said that even unborn babies are already debt in debt, inherited from a heavily debt-ridden Marcos government. Okay, dito nga sa BIR is mandated by law to assess, collect, and national internal revenue, taxes, mga bayarin at mga singil, and to enforce all forfeitures, penalties at mga multa, kabilang ang pagpapatupad ng mga hatol sa lahat ng mga kaso na napagpasyahan ng korte, ng tax appeals at ng mga ordinaryong korte. Section 2 ng National Internal Revenue Code of 1997. Bureau of Customs is a Philippine government agency under the Department of Finance. Ang ginagawa ng Bureau of Customs Prevention ay pagsupport sa smuggling at iba pang mga pandaraya sa customs, pangangasiwa at kontrol sa pasukan at clearance ng mga sasakyang pandagat at sasakyang panghimpapawid na nakikibahagi sa dayuhang commerce, informants of the tariff and customs laws, and all other laws, rules, and regulations relating to the tariff and customs administration. Ang pamahalaan ay kumikita din mula sa mga kita na hindi buwis tulad ng mga koleksyon ng mga multa, mga kita, mga lisensya at singil sa pagrerehistro. Kapag ang mga kita ng gobyerno ay sapat na upang tustusan ang malaking budget, ang pamahalaan ay kailangang umutang. Next naman is taxation. Taxation as a tool is not just a source of income of the government. It is also used as an instrument to manipulate conditions in the economy. In place of inflation, taxation is an effective tool that can be used to seek one out excess money in circulation. An increase in tax rates will lessen the disposable income of the people and cause the demand to decrease. Unnecessary spending tends to be eliminated, and this tends to pull prices down. So dito nga sa taxation is the imposition of compulsory levies on individuals or entities ng mga pamahalaan sa halos lahat ng bansa sa mundo. Ginagamit ang taxation upang itaas ang kita para sa mga paggasta ng pamahalaan, bagamat maaari rin ito magsilbi sa iba pang mga layunin. Okay, for instance, sales tax, isang buwis sa pagkonsumo na pinataw ng isang pamahalaan sa pagbebenta ng mga produkto at serbisyo. Anong epekto ng taxation sa inflation? Specifically, income from capital gains, interest, and dividends is not adjusted for inflation. When taxable income is calculated, kapag tumaas ang inflation, tumataas ang nominal na halaga ng naturang kita. Ganyan din ang buwis na dapat bayaran sa kita ngayon, even though the real value of the income is in change. Next naman is principles of taxation. Taxes collected by the government may be classified as direct or indirect. Direct taxes are paid directly to a tax collecting agency of the government. Indirect taxes are levied against goods and services, and only indirectly on people, such as sales taxes and import duties. The Philippine income tax is best described as progressive. Taxation is the system of payments that individuals and businesses are required to pay the government. The systems by which a government may impose taxes are progressive, regressive, or proportional. This system shows the relationship between the tax rate and the tax base. The tax rate is the percentage of the tax that has to be paid by the taxpayer. The tax base is the value that is subject to the tax. The progressive tax system is usually associated with direct taxes and is normally accepted to be the ideal system since it taxes people according to their ability to pay. The regressive tax system is one where tax rates are high for low bases and decrease with high bases. This system is described as one who sees Those with greater ability to pay are taxed less, and the poor people with less ability to pay are taxed more. Okay, so direct tax isang buwis na direktang binabayaran ng tao o organisasyon sa entity na nagpatong nito. Ang example ng direct tax ay income tax, real property tax, corporate tax, and personal property tax. Indirect tax, karaniwang mga buwis na maaaring maipasa sa ibang entity o individual. Karaniwang ipinapataw ang mga ito sa isang kagagawa o supplier na pagkatapos ay ipapasa ang buwis sa mamimili. Ang pinakaraniwang halimbawa ng indirect tax ay ang excise tax sa sigarilyo at alcohol. Pag sinabi natin tax, ito yung buwis sa produksyon, pagbebenta o pagkonsumo ng isang kalakal sa isang bansa. Progressive tax, buwis kung saan tumataas ang rate ng buwis habang tumataas ang halaga ng buwis. The term progressive ay tumutukoy sa paraan ng pag-usad ng rate ng buwis mula sa mababa hanggang sa mataas. Nagresulta na ang average na rate ng buwis na isang nagbabayad ng buwis ay mas mababa kaysa sa marginal na rate ng buwis ng tao. Examples ng progressive tax ay rental earnings, tax credits, and tax on interest earned. Ang regressive tax na lalarawan ng epekto sa pamamahagi sa kita o paggasta na tumutukoy sa paraan ng pag-usad ng rate mula sa mataas hanggang sa mababa upang ang average na rate ng buwis ay lumampas sa marginal na rate ng buwis. Halimbawa, kung ang mga mamimili ay nagbabayad ng 6% na buwis sa pagbebenta sa kanilang mga pamilihan, kung kumikita sila na 30,000 o 130,000 USD taon-taon, ang mga may mas mababang kita ay nagbabayad ng mas malaking bahagi ng kabuuang kita kaysa sa mga kumikita ng mas malaki. Proportional tax system, lahat ng nagbabayad ng buwis ay kinakailangan magbayad na parehong porsyento ng kanilang kita. Sa mga buwis, halimbawa ng buwis na kumikita ng 10,000 USD ay magbabayad ng 2,000 USD at ang isang nagbabayad ng buwis na kumikita ng 50,000 USD ay magbabayad ng 10,000 USD. Similarly, a person's earning 1 million USD would pay 200,000 USD. Burden of taxation. Taxes are always unwanted taxes, the effect of decreasing a person's disponible income. This means that the individual gives up money that would otherwise consumption. Taxes are thus considered a burden. There are two types of tax burden. Okay, sa economics, ang tax burden ay ang epekto ng isang particular na buwis sa pamamahagi ng economic welfare. Tutukoy ng mga ekonomista ang pagkakaiba sa pagitan ng mga entities sa huli ay nagdadala ng pasanin sa buwis at sa mga taong unang pinalo ng buwis. Sa kaso ng mga sigarilyo, halimbawa, ang demand ay hindi elastic dahil sigarilyo ay isang nakakahumay na substance at mga buwis ay pamanahing ipinapasa sa mga namimili sa anyo ng mas mataas na presyo. Okay, so two types ng burden. First is impact. Impact is a burden of person who pays the tax for the first time. Burden ng taong magbabayad ng buwis. Sa incidence is a burden the person who ultimately has to pay for the tax. In the case of direct taxes, the impact and incidence are shouldered by the same person. If Juan de la Cruz pays a 10,000 tax to BIR on income he earned last year, he shoulders the impact of the tax. Since he cannot pass on the tax to somebody else, the ultimate burden is also his, and he shoulders the incidence of the tax as well. So, ito nga sa incidence, kailangan magbayad para sa buwis sa direct taxes. Ang epekto at saklaw ay kasi ng parehong tao.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Andrian Cruz. I'm reporting of the news of fiscal policy. So, diniscuss natin kaganina ni Engineer Ranho ay patungkol nga po sa fiscal policy. At ngayon naman ang aking i-discuss ay the uses of fiscal policy. Fiscal policy means may be use of the government, stimulate or distress the economy decision, whether or not of the increase of the government spending, determine what type of government to budget should be adopt during the year of the increases for the private sector inheritance spend and the economy needs and views and the government increases the spending by the adopting the pay of the budget. The times of the private spending is incentive in the treatment of the explanatory. The government increases the adopt of the supplier of the budget. Increasing the government says the attack rate rates will have the effect of increasing of the aggregate demand and resulting permanent of demand of increasing tax ay tax of rates. So sinasabi nga po daw dito na using the use of fiscal policy nga po daw. Sa fiscal policy, ito yung pinaka-point nga po daw niya ay sa pamamagitan nga po daw ng fiscal policy ay nagkakaroon nga po daw sila ng decision yung government to have to action for tax kung itataas ba nila or hindi para masolusyonan yung mga excuse me, yung mga nangyayari sa pagkakakaroon nga po ng inflation or kakapusan lalo sa mga needs nga po ng mga economy. So dahil sa mga private sector or company ay tumataas nga po daw yung mga tax ng mga nagkakaroon nga po daw ng inflation. The effect of budget. So, consider a budget with the collection the amount of 450 billion and the government spent of 480 billion. This is the obviously is that of budget since government expect the sure excuse me, hindi ko makaya the revenue by 30% billion. This deficit is to finish. This deficit finance of the money that's how to raise for sources of public borrowing, and this means an additional 15 billion will be injected into the economic stream. So sponsoring the main emphasis is 80%, this the income of multiplier will be. So sinasabi dito, so di ba we consider the budget kung saan nga po daw yung tax collection na nagkakahalaga nga po daw ng 450 billion pesos. Tapos yung government ay gumagastos nga po daw sila ng 450 480 pesos. So sobrang kita nga po daw and obvious nga po daw nila dito na ang deficit budget nga po daw since yung mga government ay yung government expenditure ay sumasobra nga po daw ay umaabot nga po daw ng 30 billion pesos. So sa deficit nga po daw ng pinopondo nga po daw like humihiram nga po sila ng pera sa mga publiko na kaya nagkakaroon nga po daw ng inflation. Kaya pag nangyari to, it means na nadadagdagan nga po daw ng another 30 billion pesos. So if ever nga po daw ma-inject yun sa ating economic stream, sasabihin nga na natin dito ang MPC nga po daw is 80%. So yung ating mga economic multiplier, so better than the expanded of the MA at Polmo. So ayon sa Malacanang, the Philippine state of the world is the effect of which is the global economic setback and could control the budget, deficit by collecting tax and variously in spending the money of the prudently. So the office of the president of notes by the budget of deficit of noong 2003 for 19 from 199.9 billion or humahalaga ng 4.6% of GDP was 2.1 billion. President of Gloria Macapagal Arroyo, she was due to improve the revenue as the bureau. So dito ay So, kini-claim nga po daw ng Pilipinas yung pag-stave off nga po daw yung pinagkamamalan nga po daw ng epekto ng kasalukuyan ng economy. Sa pag-urong nga po daw sa pag-control nga po daw ng budget of deficit, ay nagkakaroon nga po daw ng pamamagitan nga po daw ng pagkolekta ng mga buwis na mga kasing kasinglahan o paggastos nga po daw ng pera sa mga na may pag-iingat nga po daw. So, ang ayon nga po daw sa presidente na nagsasabi nga po daw yung budget na defense sa taon nga po daw ng 2003 ay noong 199.9 billion pesos or umaano ng 4.6% of ng GDP at ito ay naging 2.1 pesos nga din po daw. Si President Arroyo ay sinasabi na ito ay dahil sa pagbabago at pag-improve nga po ng mga buwis at revenue sa buwis of Ruyo. So, ayun lang po at maraming salamat. Thank you po.